All right, let's do the next one. This next one has a surprise for you. Here we go. First I take the derivative, right? I got to find h prime. We're doing the same thing as the previous one. We're trying to find our inflection points. And if you're trying to find your inflection points, you must find the possible inflection points. Then you must find where the sign changes, because that tells you which ones are the inflection points. My h prime equals negative 10x to the fourth plus 40x to the third. And now we're going to go h double prime, which is going to be negative 40x to the third plus 120x squared. I make mistakes a lot, so am I good? Am I good? I do everything right so far? Okay, so I'm going to take that negative 40 x to the third plus 120x squared. I'm going to set it equal to 0. And to solve this, I'm going to factor out the greatest common factor. And so I could get a negative 40x to the second power out. And I would get x plus, minus 3. Yep. Okay, so from this factor, I get x equals 0. And from this factor, I get x equals 3. Okay, so this is the h double prime line graph, sine line graph. It is an x-axis. Okay, now I have to pick tester points. I'm going to pick negative 1, 1, and 4. And then when I test those, I'm going to plug them into the factored form because it makes it easy. I can do that in my head. So I plug in negative 1 right here. Negative 1 squared is positive, and so that means this factor stays negative. I plug in negative 1 right here, and negative 1 minus 3 is a negative, so I get a negative times a negative, which is a positive. So I have a positive in the first interval. The next one I try is 1. I plug 1 into this. That first factor is going to be negative. I plug 1 into this. That would be 1 minus 3, which would also be negative. So now I have a negative times a negative, which is also a positive. And then I do it with the 4. I plug the 4 in. 4 squared is 16. I get a negative for the first one. I plug a 4 in this, subtract 3. I get a positive. What? That was different. So I have a negative times a positive, which is a negative. Which one, or are they both, inflection points? Only the 3. Why? Because the sign changes. F double prime is first positive, then it's negative. Therefore, inflection point, the curvature will change there. So x equals 3 is your only answer.